Happy Valentine's Day once again. Welcome back to Quake Pro League Week 6. I'm 40Lions, joined by the one and only Lethal. Lethal, we got one more set coming up, k1llsen versus Spart1e. And I think the storyline here is that k1llsen might be playing with like 1.5 eyes. He's got some eye issues going on, but he's going to try and fight through it.
Yeah, he's going to try and do his best. We know with his high fragging ability and how aggressive he is as a player, and we call him k1llsen for a reason. He's got such great tracing aim, both his LG and his rail. It's going to be very difficult to topple here for Spart1e. Spart1e hasn't had the best of starts yet. He's only taken one series out of the 3 he's played, and he will try and look for another one. k1llsen has very, very few weaknesses, but Spart1e, he does have the potential to make this happen, but we'll have to see. It depends what kind of day Spart1e's having here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see kind of the rails rage out. I hope it's going to be 3 maps that provide that service to us so we could see just a rail battle for the ages. Spart1e, again, it's never a party without Spart1e, and if he pops off hitting those rails like we know that he can, and k1llsen shows up, it's just going to be a fantastic showing here on Valentine's Day. But yeah, k1llsen, again, fighting through some eye issues. We'll see if that affects him at all, or maybe just some mind games for Spart1e. Who knows? Who knows? No, I think it's serious, but we'll see. We'll see. k1llsen versus Spart1e. Right off the bat, before we even get into the pick bands, I feel like maybe k1llsen a little bit. k1llsen's kind of middle of the pack on the EU side of the leaderboards. Spart1e down below, I think, at the bottom. He's got to dig his way out. Again, relegation getting closer and closer week in, week out. People have to start trying to get those maps, get those points, so they're not on the chopping block.
Yeah, even if you don't take the series, every single map in either pro leagues in the Americas or in the EU region is so important here. And Spart1e does have the potential to take at least one map. I think a lot of people will look at this series and think, okay, potentially it should be a 3-0 or 2-1 for k1llsen, but we'll have to look and see how the maps pan out. And speaking of maps, we've got another Exile. We haven't seen that since Series 1 and 2 earlier today, but some very fast-paced, quick, small map geometry maps to actually go through. Got Exile, got Deep Embrace, got Corrupt to Keep. First one, Divisor versus the Doomslayer, which is going to be an interesting pick. We haven't seen too much of Divisor on Exile, but he has banned the Anarchy. Anarchy's been a very popular matchup in terms of being used as a champion on Exile. Then we've got Strog versus the Kill. Finally, we see a Kill on Deep Embrace. Again, a common pick, but we haven't seen much of that today. And to finish up the day, we have the Galena versus the BJ on Corrupt to Keep. So nothing really too nothing too massive here in terms of the meta, but it seems pretty damn standard here for you.
Yeah, I think this one should be interesting. The Visor pick on Exile should be interesting to see how Spart1e utilizes that. All 3 maps rather small. Deep Embrace, love to see it, especially on Valentine's Day. Corrupted Keep, one of my favorites. Looking forward to that. And yeah, a little sad that we won't get to see all 3 maps have rails, but the first 2 should be pretty fantastic, and I hope both players pop off. I, as always, hope for a close set, but if I were to put you on the spot, Lethal, predictions, just like chat, as they start locking them in, what do you think?
Oh, it's very difficult. I think from those maps alone, I'll probably say k1llsen will probably take this 3-0, possibly 2-1. It depends on that final map, because Spart1e, Firmly, is one of his better maps on the last one. We haven't seen these 2 play much on Exile anyway. It's still quite new to the map pool anyway, but we'll have to see what happens. Like, we saw the Nosfer versus Max the game early on Exile. That was just absurd. That was just ridiculous, to say the least. But, we'll have to see what happens at the start of the game, see what happens and see what they can do in order to contest some of these items. But you can't let k1llsen get out of control. And if he does get taken down in any way, then he needs to make sure to at least do enough damage to go for the trade and try and go for the item straight afterwards.
Yep, we'll see how Spart1e can play this. I feel like it's kind of up to him to make the move and maybe steal this one away from k1llsen, but I feel like 2-1 k1llsen might be what we see here. It's going to start off on Exile. I heard the sound of the ding, which means we're going to load up shortly, and this will be the last set of the day, so big shouts to everyone for tuning in and sticking around, as we are going to round out the day with quite the slugfest. I hope to see 95% rail from both players here. Starts off on Exile. Keep it icy and cool. k1llsen versus Spart1e right now.
I wouldn't expect anything less 40, as we are going to start off with k1llsen's POV. Already gets the first rail. Very good. He's going to try and get the weapons in his arsenal, which he has managed to grab. And he's already trying to take him to the LG. Some good rockets there, but he is railable. Needs to be very careful. Spart1e misses such 2 important rails in order to take k1llsen down for his first frag, but it just wasn't to be, as k1llsen has already recovered. Both items are roughly the same. I think he realised that, yeah, he has to let the heavy get away. There is no light, but it's delaying the Mega just a little bit. So Seems like Spart1e has the same plan though. Took the heavy just a little bit slower compared to usual, but still not segregated enough to grab both these items for whichever player wins the next engagement and get that full map control. But k1llsen just looking on the whereabouts of where Spart1e could be, just on his tail, gets one good rail, another good rail there. That was phenomenal through the telly. And Spart1e is on the back foot, but k1llsen smells blood. He's going to go straight in, clean him up with the rocket. Great stuff from him. And he's going to go and grab the heavy, maybe the mega, depending on where Spart1e's going to go here.
Just insane flicks from k1llsen. And if he's playing with one eye, maybe he just needs to play blindfolded because it doesn't show as he's hitting everything. Spart1e finally with a reply of his own. Gets k1llsen down as weak as he's ever been. 11 HP. Can the finish happen? The shotgun finally as k1llsen actually chases through the telly, keeps the pressure on. Spart1e capitalizes 2-1.
Oh, just barely missed there. He had to get a point blank shot in order to take Spart1e down. That's not going to happen. But oh, look at this. Spart1e manages to tie the matchup. Great first rail on the spawn as k1llsen's going for the rail. Good tri-bolt shot to feed himself info and get a little tickle of damage done there. Spart1e is the man with the upper hand as he's got a decent stack to work with. Just needs to be a little bit careful with the rockets and the rails from k1llsen as they're both playing very, very slow here. Good first rail from Spart1e. He was looking for the 2 for 2. Not going to happen as he's going to not go for the flank around, but he's going to see if he can catch k1llsen off guard a little bit, but realizes that k1llsen has backed away and dropped down, gone back for the telly again, and the rail would have possibly done it there, but k1llsen's already got away. He's already got the mega. Spart1e still hasn't picked up the heavy yet, just delaying it enough because he's in a good position now to whether maybe get full map control. Still got the piercing sight, so he can try and at least tunnel his way through into where k1llsen could be. But looking good here for both these players. Both of them looking very, very confident with their rails.
Yeah, really, really strong on the rail play from both players here as k1llsen just lurking. Tracking Spart1e. Here's the vision pop. Spart1e goes through full commit. The LG not quite enough, but he gets Spart1e extremely weak. Spart1e in no shape to contest this mega. Full map control might go over to k1llsen here. So he's just waiting for Spart1e to overextend. So he does grab the heavy. Full map control in his favor as Spart1e still hanging on by a thread. He does have a 50 shard to work with, but he's going to get caught out at the heavy. Almost hits 2 rails on his way out, but only the one. A 3-2, and k1llsen gets caught out with rail up close and personal. There is the rocket, 14 HP. Trying to make some sort of move and get out of there, please! Oh, the double jump saves his life, and everybody in chat puckered up for that one. Wow. k1llsen's still extremely weak. There's the rocket around the corner. Somehow k1llsen survives. 11 HP now. 50 shard again. The chase from Spart1e relentless. Nets him the frag with the shotgun tied at 3.
Oh, I was hanging on for the edge of my seat there with k1llsen dropping down for that light, but survived, but not really that much longer compared to when he faced up against Spart1e, and Spart1e managed to tie things up here on Exile. This is the first map of the series, the last series of the day. Spart1e's looking very, very good, but then again, both players are looking phenomenal after the first 4 minutes of map number 1, as he's got some good tri-bolt shots. He's looking for that aggression, but sadly fell down as he was trying to clean up a little bit with the LG, but the massive stack on Spart1e. k1llsen's going to have to do a huge amount of chip damage in order to keep Spart1e away, but Spart1e does have that piercing sight, but he doesn't need it at the moment. He knows k1llsen's directly above him, loses out on the mega, but this is still an opportunity for him to try and clean up. k1llsen, 50 chance there, manages to choose the right positioning, needs to clean him up with the last rail shot if he can, lets him get away. He's going to be kicking himself a little bit, but now he's got the heavy. This surely is his time to clean up k1llsen. Great rocket, good rail from k1llsen just to equalize a little bit more damage in order for the next fight. And realizes he's directly above him. Good direct. Nice clean-up combo with the LG straight afterwards. Spart1e's looking very good. Again, another great spawn rail. 2 for 2. Will he go for 3 for 3 here? As he's going to try and get behind him with the shotgun. Doesn't really get it, but will he be able to clean up? Yes, he does. Spart1e's looking very good here.
Spart1e's popping off, and he's like, I know people call you k1llsen, but I might just strip you of that title right now as he's hitting everything. k1llsen does swoop in and steal a heavy, but the shotgun's too strong. Spart1e gets another frag. 4 up now. We're over the halfway mark. Spart1e a little bit weak. He's going to grab a 25. It's going to be crucial here as he hits the rail. Gambles at all. If he would have missed that, that would have been curtains. The vision is popped as he goes through the telly, grabs another health bubble to put him out of rail range. Missed with the rail. The tri-bolt is going to save him. k1llsen smells blood. There's the rocket. Almost gets the follow-up. Still trying to go, and k1llsen gambles! And he gets a rail for his trouble as he gets skewered on Spart1e's rail. There's the drop down for Heavy, trying to extend, and hits another one. Spart1e is just putting on a show with this rail gun.
He's looking very good and using that piercing sight, not to the best of his ability, but he's trying to use it as far away as possible to not give any clear indication that he's using it against k1llsen. But nonetheless, he's been pretty damn good with it. Loses out on the Mega, but he's already done so much rocket damage, he can just drop straight down, cleans up k1llsen. He's only on 10 HP, using the piercing sight to find out if he's going to get traded or not. Some good rockets, but it's not going to be enough. 11 HP. Needs to try and recover back to his default stack. Still got 3.5 minutes to play here for you. But with k1llsen, you know, he's very good with his comebacks. Spart1e knows this and how well drawn out he can be to try and recover from this matchup. That's already won. So only a 6 frag deficit. And k1llsen has plenty of time to try and work with, especially on a map like this. But the way Spart1e's playing, it's just ridiculous. It's still a tall order, I think, but definitely not impossible.
When there's a big rocket, but k1llsen gets in on that Heavy, decimates Spart1e. 5 to 10, 3 minutes left, and Spart1e might start playing a little more defensive here and just use the clock to his advantage. Just have the vision up, only has a nail gun to his name. He's trying to make it rain here, goes through the telly to escape. k1llsen has to chase as time is ticking. But also, for the positioning on the Mega, and that setup for that rail was absolutely fantastic. Vision still in Spart1e's hands for a little bit of insurance. He's going to drop down, great play to get away, but he sends him flying. See you in hell, says k1llsen. 6 to 10, 2.5 left. Spart1e finally popping the vision to try and get some data on where k1llsen might be. And he's got to have his eyes on the clock. 2.5 minutes, just hug the ropes, 4 frag lead, and Spart1e could walk away with the first map. Playing very cautiously now. Down from below, and there's the jump. k1llsen, surprise, surprise, from the top. The German rains down the rockets, gets that frag. Looking strong on the comeback here. There's the Mega Steal, but this should be another frag for k1llsen, and indeed it is. So good job to deny the item, but Spart1e needs to be very careful. With 2 frags left, there's plenty of time for k1llsen to get back in.
Certainly does indeed. Good rails from k1llsen. 2 for 2 there. Spart1e trying to survive the best he can. Not really too much he can do there. Only 1 health bubble up top that he can actually pick up. Heavy's up for another 10 seconds, and that's pretty much done for. 1:40 left on the clock. Spart1e needs to be very, very careful now. So a lot of frags creep away from him, but he's going to ring out. Oh no, that's the worst. That was the worst time for k1llsen to fall off. We definitely have enough ring outs to get its own show reel 100%. There's no doubt about that. But that was just a shame, really. A little bit accidental. That LG just cleaned them off nicely. And if there's any way for Spart1e to come back in this matchup, that was the frag. That was the way to do it. But k1llsen still has enough time to make something happen. As long as he gets this next frag and doesn't take too much damage on spawn for Spart1e, he should be okay. But the Mega is still up. It's going to be picked up now. And the Heavy has been picked up for Spart1e. So Spart1e just playing it very cool, calm, and collected here. He knows if he doesn't need to rush in any way, and even if he does a huge chunk of damage in this next fight, he can finish him off with ease, no problem. But he's used to piercing sights. He will have another one before the match ends if he finds the hourglasses. Good rails from k1llsen. He's just trying to be very, very cautious here. He is. He's trying to like pick him off there, but no, Spart1e's just still staying back here, boy.
This is just really well played from Spart1e. Just knows that he just has to keep his distance. k1llsen has to aggress. There's a little bit of an LG, but 20 seconds, 2 frags. It's going to be really rough. He needs to get this frag like right now, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to chase down Spart1e. So Spart1e puts up map number 1, and that was very, very close here, as it was kind of a battle of rails. I'd like to see a little more, but I'm selfish. What can I say? 11 to 9 is going to be the final scoreline for map number 1. And we got some ring outs too. It's dangerous on that map, Lethal. You need to watch your step.
You certainly do indeed. I would say it's definitely one of my favourite maps in the map pool. Like, you know, every game has been close, and we've seen some of the best rails on that map too, and some escapades here and there, a little bit of banter with the ring outs. But, you know, sometimes it's their own fault. Sometimes you just get LG'd or rocket off. It's just one of those things, really. Spart1e in terms of his performance, played absolutely out of his mind. Was very happy to see what kind of Spart1e we'll be seeing today. It seems like he's absolutely on form, progressed very well considering the comeback k1llsen made, but that one ring out definitely changed everything. He's definitely, probably annoyed him just a tad. Spart1e was trying to be a bit of a nuisance on a number of occasions, but that comeback, we seriously thought it was going to happen. And even in some of those bouts or some of those engagements he took, he was heavily damaged and still managed to recover. But the piercing sight definitely made a huge amount of work for Spart1e alone, as there's quite a lot of high risk, high reward plays. But then again, Spart1e with map number 1, something we did not expect here, 40, as we'll have to see if k1llsen can try and get a reverse sweep to try and win the series 2-1, or Spart1e can just go all out and try and make something happen. And there we go, another ring out. Yeah, he knew straight away that's cost him the map. No doubt about that. 707 damage difference between the two. Spart1e showing a lot more map presence, but a very, very good game from both these players.
Yeah, I mean, that absolutely killed k1llsen's momentum. It was a very unfortunate, really good play from Spart1e there. And yeah, if that went his way, he would have grabbed the heavy, maybe even just done some damage, if not got the item. That could have been a completely different story, but the LG too strong, knocking him off the map, giving Spart1e the gap, kind of the space that he needed to take that one. But we're going to map number 2. I feel like this one might be another close one, Lethal. Spart1e popping off with the rails, k1llsen right there with him. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Mate, I always love to see it. And we're now going to have another, well, we could say a lot of chaos on our hands. It's going to be Deep Embrace, which will be the next map. You thought Exile was good. This one should just be even better, or maybe better. We'll have to see between these two players. Full on aggression. Both players' rails seems to be on point. Their map control seems to be very good. Just a bit more caution from k1llsen needed. Spart1e showed a lot more map presence. He seemed to be more aware of the situation on how he's going to try and take down k1llsen. But there's a lot of those spawn frags on bottom rail on Exile, which really put k1llsen, on edge and kind of, made a little bit angry here and there. But we'll have to see as we go to map number 2, reset his mental fortitude. And now we're going to go to map number 2, Deep Embrace. It's going to start off with k1llsen's POV.
Onto that rail. Ooh, tri-ball right to the face here. As there's going to have to be a lot more of that from Spart1e to try and chip away at this massive tank that is Keel. Spart1e in a bad way here, getting caught out with the peeker. LG barely hanging on, 25 HP, 11 for Spart1e. He's hanging on by a thread. k1llsen just looking for that last bit of damage. Here's the armor shard pickup. Almost hits the rocket, but the LG should do it. Never mind, swaps back to rocket, but 25 HP. Spart1e doing such massive damage. Mega does go to k1llsen. Can he get back to try and chip away at the heavy? This should be relatively free for Spart1e. The stack looks pretty good. Now k1llsen just lying in wait, trying to set a trap here as he has no armor to his name.
Yeah, k1llsen could have picked up those 2 health orbs for middle, but he didn't want to take the risk depending on Spart1e's spawn. But this is a very good engagement from Spart1e. That was beautiful. He took that in a very clean fashion. Again, good first rail from Spart1e. Trying to look for another, but he's missed way too many. The rockets come out, but Spart1e's the one who's so weak, but the trades come in. Good rail from Spart1e. k1llsen just managed to actually clean him up with those rockets at the end. k1llsen was a little bit tempted to charge in them, but decides to prioritize the Mega. Completely understandable, especially with that regular shotgun in hand. But still, Spart1e still needs to be careful with the kill of k1llsen, considering that if he does try and go for the heavy, he's got those pineapples. Very good choke point for k1llsen to try and engage in, but the peak is still keeping him away just a little bit here, but both of them are still on equal stacks.
That was so unbelievably close to another ring out, especially when he went into peeker, and he needs to be careful. k1llsen getting caught out at the armor shard, and Spart1e comes out on top of the rockets just enough. Steals away the armor shard as well, hits a great rail on his way up the jump pad. k1llsen's going to advance, trying to hit a rail of his own. He'll get a little beep boop on the way out and almost gets shot in the toesies. Ooh, good rail there from k1llsen. Gets in on the Mega. A lot of LG. k1llsen, see ya. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. 4-2 for Spart1e, looking so strong right now.
Man, this is great stuff from Spart1e. This is not something we completely expected. We know how much Spart1e has improved over the last couple of months against a player like k1llsen. We wouldn't say it's a tall order, but it's definitely going to be a tough match for him. As k1llsen manages to recover quite quickly. Picks up the 2 health orbs and a light. Great rail from him as Spart1e was going for that Mega. But now he's going to have the heavy possibly. Takes out the peeker. He's in the perfect position to go for it, but he's wondering to see if he can catch Spart1e out of position, but it's just going to dive straight in. It should be k1llsen's, no problem. Manage to tie this match up 4-all.
Big rocket from k1llsen into the rail. That's the combination we love to see. Serving up hot and fresh. k1llsen still weak though off the spawn as Spart1e gonna grab some rockets and try and put on some pressure there. Serving up some damage through that window is k1llsen. Spart1e comes flying back towards the heavy. Wants to try and maintain map control. Needs to be careful there. There's the machine gun as k1llsen just takes a rocket to the face for his troubles and he throws him off the map. As God is my witness, he is broken in half.
I was saying before, you can make a show reel with, you know, all the ring outs, but it seems like this one can just do it alone. This whole series entirely. k1llsen looking very strong with his rails. He's trying to go for another one on spawn, that rocket spawn. Doesn't manage to get him, but now needs to be careful because Spart1e does have the rockets also with that stack advantage, but not the best position he's been in. Trying to use that tri-bolt to do a little bit of damage. Doesn't get him. Great direct dash. Falls off again. 40. What am I watching?
I don't know. There's something in the air.
Please tell me.
And it's not just love. There's something in the air. 8-4 for k1llsen. And at this point, it's just how many times can I knock my opponent off the map? It's a bit of Quake sumo, it appears. 32 HP for Spart1e as he escapes towards the rail. He grabs a 25. He's still railable, extremely weak, even after this 25 pickup. Needs to be careful. k1llsen up the jump pad, somehow misses that rail, but the pineapple will force Spart1e into the corner. k1llsen cleans it up with the LG, 9-4 as we hit close to the halfway point. 30 seconds left until we're officially there. k1llsen looking very comfortable right now on deep embrace.
Looking very good. Great rocket bear as Spart1e is trying to pick up that light. He's going to try and push in anyway to see what he can do against k1llsen. k1llsen just realised he hasn't got any rockets left. A little bit of a shame. Peek it down. Just like it never happened. But Spart1e, great LG, but not as good as k1llsen's rail. That was just disgusting.
5-minute warning.
That was a real clean shot. As k1llsen looking so fresh and so clean, making Spart1e look a little bit like an outcast here. 10-4. As k1llsen was like, that first map was free. First one's free, but this next one's going to be mine.
Spart1e now, but just a little bit worried that he's above him. Takes the first rail. k1llsen gets the mega for his troubles. Heavy is coming up in the next few seconds. He won't have time to go for unless he rocket jumps up, but decides to back away. Rocket jump from a different angle. He knows he's going to have the heavy, but still it should be his engagement to win. That last rocket didn't do enough damage. Spart1e has time to cause a little bit of trouble here bottom mid, but it looks like k1llsen still manages to recover. A few rockets there just to show some map presence. Don't really do too much damage, but that one did enough to keep him away slightly. But Spart1e, he sees the mega temptation, you see, k1llsen. Wants to go for it, knows he can't.
Is it safe?
It's safe now as he, even though he misses the rail, he realizes that k1llsen has gone for the heavy anyway. Going to get top mid very shortly. k1llsen with the slight edge on the stack. Spart1e has to peek if he wants to use it, but k1llsen has plenty of pineapples to use as soon as he comes towards one of those choke points.
Ooh, good trouble there. Spart1e finding the angle, denying the jump across for that 50 shard with the LG. Spart1e could potentially get this frag if he just gets a clean rocket here. k1llsen working with a decent stack, not hitting the rockets that he wants as he tries to make his way around to the LG up the jump pad, electrifying from Spart1e. As the party is just getting started, 6:45 in, only down 4, plenty of time. He just needs some armor, but fortunately the heavy is yoinked by k1llsen off the spawn. He'll have to settle for the armor shard down at lower. He makes his way back up, trying to claim the top one as well, and he does, so decent armor stack for Spart1e, and now it's just a matter of the hunt and frag. Peeker dealt with nicely there, as k1llsen tries to make his way towards the mega. Spart1e needs some punish. There's one rail, he's going to drop down with LG. k1llsen almost gets caught in the Grand Canyon, but he's hitting everything right now, and Spart1e, wow, up close with the rail, takes him out, as k1llsen just wanted to get away. 10-7. Spart1e slowly trying to make a comeback in this one, Lethal.
He certainly can indeed. Decided to use that rail close range, but Kill is a big boy. Very easy to hit at back range, but he needs to try and back away. He's only on 6 HP, but k1llsen also, but he's the one who gets a shotgun out first. Tries to go for the spawn rail on that rocket spawn. Doesn't get him, but it's still only on 41 HP. He's in a huge amount of trouble. Spart1e knew that. Went straight in with the rockets to make sure it does the job. Clean things up nicely. k1llsen, massive stack here. Spart1e needs to be very careful about how he wants to choose this next engagement. Decides to go head first into him anyway, but this is not going to be looking too good. Spart1e needs to try and get away if he can. He's not doing enough damage with these rockets or these rails. He uses the Pico anyway, but nowhere near enough. It's a real shame as Spart1e manages, well, he was tempted to go for those rockets, but realised what happened on previous engagements on spawn and decides to go around the rail. Goes top mid for that light. Misses a few shots. Spart1e needs to be careful. No, doesn't matter. He's going to go straight in. Took a risk. Risk didn't really go in his favour. Nice first rail. Nice second rail. Is he going to go for 3 for 3? He's looking for him. He says he's going to drop down, but he can't find him. But he gets the Mega. Manages to hit him once more. Will he clean him up for 2 for 2? No, he will not. But he's caused so much damage. Spart1e's done a great job trying to recover, but it's just not going to be enough as the rails from k1llsen has just been phenomenal this game. Looking at percentage, still only 44%, but the later stage of this game, his rails have just been ridiculous here for you.
Yeah, I mean, not the highest percentage we've seen k1llsen hit by any stretch of the imagination, but he's hitting the ones that he needs. Constantly keeping Spart1e low, cleaning up with the LG, just doing a really good job. 15 to 8 right off the spawn. Double rail just being everywhere Spart1e wants to be, not letting him breathe. Right off the spawn again, nothing is free in the arena. 16 to 8 for k1llsen. Coming back strong after that first map loss. And we're going to 3, Lethal. And it's going to decide the series between these two.
They certainly are indeed. 17 to 8. As we can see, Spart1e just doing a bit of ring around the rosy around the map with the heavy and everything else, but you know, you can't change the scoreline. Too little, too late. 10 seconds left. It's been a very good day so far for you. We've seen, you know, a lot of free mappers going our way, and it's going to be another one. 4 out of 5, we can't complain. And the final series of the day, we're going to see a map free between these two players. Spart1e still looking very strong, but k1llsen's rails were just phenomenal, so effective, and it's like you mentioned earlier, it's the ones that counted, and all the ones which did count are the ones he needed desperately, and it's just been doing like such great work over the course of that entire map.
I can't think of a better way to decide the series, especially when the first 2 maps were so dependent on the rail. In the 3rd map, we're going to Corrupted Keep, and poof, just like that, there goes the rail. So both players are going to have to switch their game plan completely, as we see Spart1e throwing him out the window. And I feel like there could be ring outs on Corrupted Keep. It's a lot more rare, but I'm hoping we stay with the trend and see at least 1 or 2. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'll be pretty sad if I don't. I'm not going to lie, but I think, you know, this series alone, we've seen, what, 5, 6 maybe? Something like that?
Just so many, more than I've ever seen, and it's fantastic. You love to see it. You love to see it. But 1-1 is going to be the scoreline for this set as we take a look at the stats from Deep Embrace. 17 to 8, quite the scoreline in favor of k1llsen. Rails popping off for both players again. The percentage is not as high as we're used to, but k1llsen hitting the ones that he needs. And we're going to go into Corrupted Keep to finish out this one and decide the series. Again, Spart1e battling from rank 10 to try and put himself near the middle of the pack. Get some points, get some money. k1llsen just comfortably in the middle of the pack, trying to make that last kind of couple-week push towards the top 4 for the EU side. He's 1 map away from helping his cause, but we will see Spart1e's playing really, really solid right now.
Yeah, he's not looking too bad. The only problem is in previous matchups, he's just not managed to close out the series. I'm hoping this isn't one of them because he does need another map win in order to, like you said, to get to at least the middle stage of the Pro League in the EU region and the standings. But he's still been looking very, very good. k1llsen had 702 more damage, showed a lot more map presence, but the way he was railing, it was just ridiculous. And Spart1e, he's doing almost equally as good in that first map. He was doing probably better in that first map, but you know, in this 3rd and final map, no rails here for you. It will be the BJ versus the k1llsen. And, you know, I just hope k1llsen is on his toes throughout most of this because Spart1e is going to be using those totems to its full potential. The heavy machine gun, keeping range. And as soon as one of these players gets full control of the items and the map, it's going to be almost curtains. It's going to be game over. So it just depends on who's it going to be.
Yep, looking forward to this one to round out the day. Once again, thanks everyone for tuning in. Happy Valentine's Day. What better way to end it than with the BJ versus Galena on Corrupted Keep? It should be fantastic. Again, no rail. I'm looking forward to seeing the use of the machine gun, a lot of tribal probably, or just a lot of dual-wield rockets from k1llsen. We'll see. But this one is going to decide this series. k1llsen, hungry for more points, wants to try and just ice his way towards the top 4 again. And Spart1e just trying to dig himself out of a hole. So all the pressure is on. And we will see who comes out on top as the predictions are locked. And it looks like, wow, Chad, 1,000,000 points, really? No respect. No respect for Spart1e. No faith. But here we are, live, lethal, on map number 3. Last series of the day, k1llsen versus Spart1e, Corrupted Keep.
k1llsen's POV, who else? As we're going to see what he can do to start off with a mid-air rocket. A few rockets here and there with great damage. Needs to clean him up with the shotgun. But both players are so weak. k1llsen's trying to finish him off. But somehow, Spart1e got away. But k1llsen is the one who's going to be recovering a lot better in comparison. It looked like it was easily going to be k1llsen's frag to have. But yeah, absurd. As Spart1e has just barely managed to recover himself. A couple of good rockets. Showing his map presence, good shotgun as Spart1e was trying to do a drive-by rocket bear. Gets the heavy to his name, but Spart1e needs to recover. He needs to go for this mega, which he has done. And almost all square as another drive-by rocket just barely misses for Spart1e. He knows he's in a good spot, but hasn't got even the stack to challenge this. He has to be very, very careful.
It's absolutely incredible that Spart1e lived and survived to keep it at 0-0 here. Taking a little bit unnecessary damage, but dishing out some big damage with that rocket. So all things considered, it's going to be about even after k1llsen picks up this heavy. And again, I think big victory for Spart1e there to not give up an early frag. It might happen anyway. 2 big rockets into the LG. No dice. k1llsen extremely weak. 225s go to him. Spart1e still weak. k1llsen needs to be careful. It's a minefield out there with all those totems. Both players so weak that 225 should be gone in the red room, and k1llsen needs to watch his step. Takes out one of the totems. Oh, k1llsen. Oh, k1llsen. He's stuck in a corner. He knows the totems are there, and he's trapped. Trying to fight his way out. 21 HP. That passive will heal him back up to 25, but that's nothing. Spart1e smells the blood, and he can't get it. Great rocket from k1llsen. How is he alive?
Every engagement these two have been in, it's been so close. Neither player wants to give away that first frag. Not like it matters anyway. It's Corrupted Keep. You can easily retaliate when you see fit, depending on the spawn. But k1llsen just slowing things up now. Both directly above each other. Spart1e's going to know that k1llsen won't until he's just seen it through the archway just then. Oh, Spart1e got caught in the doorway, speak of the devil, but managed to get away anyway. He's looking to try and put some pressure on for that mega. Mega's up in the next 5 seconds. Heavy's already been up for a good 5 seconds already, but Spart1e needs to try and get away. Needs to prioritize that heavy if he can. Leave the mega and just fight for the next one, which he has done. So we're back to square one as just manages to dodge that rocket. Took a little bit of damage there, not enough to make a huge impact, but Spart1e is the one who's going to be on the back foot ever so slightly as k1llsen going to do plenty of damage with that heavy machine gun. He's the one who wants to try and go for the mega. And Spart1e's still trying to challenge, playing very aggressively here, even with, you know, not having that much height advantage, but he will get that mega no problem until Spart1e does a little bit of damage to him, and now Spart1e can go back for the heavy. It's very back and forth here. It's not even like a game of chess. It's more like checkers here, I'd say, 40.
You love to see it here. The pace is relatively slow. A lot of respect from both players here. There's the chase. Spart1e smells blood. 33 HP. k1llsen again will get away and survive. 225s to work with in the boneyard, but is that going to be his final resting place? No. A good read. Doesn't take the jump pad. Instead, doubles back into the red rim to grab that lower armor. And again, stacks about even. Mega will be in k1llsen's possession. Heavy goes to Spart1e. And this is a fantastic last map of the series. Still 0-all 4 minutes in.
Oh, that could change though. Yeah, that direct possibly, and a little bit of damage afterwards. Spart1e knows how much bad of a position he is in. Oh, another rocket there, even after he's used the totem up, but he's gone into another one, so that could actually save him. No, it will not. As k1llsen very patiently was making sure that he'll finish off that frag and not give Spart1e any kind of advantage to retaliate with a trade. But so far, so good. k1llsen finally the first frag on the board. Spart1e's not obviously too impressed by that, but still has plenty of time to equalise the scoreline.
k1llsen trying to get as much damage as he can. Needs to be careful of taking the return damage. He's going to have natural stack as he makes his way back to the heavy. Spart1e wants to try and push and do some damage on this heavy, but he's nowhere near it. So free heavy for k1llsen. Relatively good stack here. A little bit of rocket damage from around the corner. Information if nothing else. And look at that fadeaway LG from Spart1e. He'll take that all day as he pushes through and he somehow lands the rockets he needs. Huge play. The meatballs on this man as he drops down into the mega. Can he swap? He can't. The shotgun's too strong from k1llsen. Back on top, 2-1.
Oh, that was so risky leaving that mega there when he was so weak, but managed to get it anyway and did so much damage to k1llsen. He should be able to trade this up nicely. And he's got the overstack here and another totem coming up in the next 20 seconds. So he's looking very good. One totem has been taken down as I've said that. But it doesn't matter. 10 more seconds until he'll have that overstack once again, which is looking very good here. k1llsen needs to make sure to take down these totems and do everything he can in order to not make life of Spart1e nice and easy as the overstack has occurred again as he's going for the next heavy.
Yeah, huge overstack now. k1llsen taking tri-bolt damage, trying to assess on the heavy, but no dice. Free heavy for Spart1e. He's got a free overstack as well. Finally, 2 of the totems go down. By the time that happens, Spart1e has decent position on this mega. Now he needs to be careful, though. k1llsen's already dropped down. Dropping down would be close to suicide here, but he's going to do it. Just a little bit of damage. k1llsen gets caught out, needs to be real careful. Rocket's not landing. That one's huge, though. Sending Spart1e packing. Still a slight stack advantage in terms of armor, as k1llsen has nothing to his name, but the heavy's going to go to k1llsen. Can he make it back in time? No, Spart1e takes it. And does he get knocked out? Oh, our wish almost came true. Almost knocked out of the park there, but k1llsen hanging by a thread. A little bit of rocket splash will do it. Spart1e takes the lead, 3-2 lethal.
I felt the excitement then. I felt it. I could tell you would see so
my eyes lit up, not gonna lie. Like a boy on Christmas. I was just like, presents for me? But no, it was a tease.
Lovely. Well, the LG fight comes in, both of them trying to outdo each other with their tracing. Totem comes out, sorry. But both of them on a very similar stack. Good LG from Spart1e, but good rail as k1llsen's going to clean things up. Yes, he does. Ties the scoreline. We're about to catch him on spawn, but knows on his whereabouts as he gets a good first rocket on Spart1e. He's going to leave the mega just for a little bit. Is up in the next couple of seconds, just baiting him out if he can. But picks up the mega. Spart1e is going to look to try and contest that heavy. Isn't up for another 10 seconds. k1llsen knows this, so needs to keep a watchful eye on what Spart1e is going to do and what his game plan is. Oh, that direct is surely going to cause some issues. Yes, it will. k1llsen gets to heavy, almost back to his default stack, and finally gets the lead in this match.
Ooh, Spart1e somehow dodges that rocket. How is he still alive? k1llsen doesn't want to commit to it yet. He's going to leave the mega up temporarily and make sure that Spart1e plays it nice and slow, forces him to not make anything crazy here. 2 rockets. The second one not really landing. Ooh, good rockets from k1llsen, though. Takes a lot of damage, but he's going to heal back up. He should be able to secure this without taking any damage. He does, but right through the telly he goes, and with open arms, Spart1e is waiting. With open LG. 5-3, 2 minutes left, lethal. Big rockets from k1llsen. Misses with the second, 46 HP. Dual wield is in hand, but the rocket from below. Spart1e gets that frag. Beautifully done.
And he's got eyes on k1llsen as well. We saw him spawn in red room. He's going to try and flank around if he can. He finds a totem, but he's trying to take out the totem as he's going for him, but it's not going to happen. Spart1e didn't take too much damage there, and he managed to get the heavy, and he's gone overstack now. Forward. This is looking very good for Spart1e. He's got 90 seconds left. He's got to try and get that next frag ASAP and make sure that k1llsen doesn't take down any more totems. And he's got 1 left, so the overstack is highly unlikely towards the end of this game, depending on if it is going to be a sudden death. But he's going to eat all these lights to make sure he keeps k1llsen in a world of trouble. He's going to go for the flank. Sadly misses that rocket. That could have been huge. But both players now very equal, apart from picking up the heavy, but k1llsen just going straight in with the LG. It could be taken out here. That last rocket almost hit him, but he's going through the LG. Both these players are so weak, but Spart1e goes straight through both those totems, almost re-healed. He needs to try and keep k1llsen back. He's got the duel down with the shotguns, but he just managed to take him out 40 as he was going for those 2 health bubbles. Not going to happen. Spart1e, k1llsen still tied things up 6-all in his final map of the series.
Spart1e needs to be careful right now. k1llsen with the advantage is going to grab the heavy. Oh no, it happened!
No.
It happened! I did it! I willed that into... I'm so bad. I feel awful. I feel awful. It can't end like this. It can't. Spart1e down 1, 25 seconds left. This is so bad. How did that happen? The overstack in favor of Spart1e, but he doesn't have a lot of weaponry. He has shotgun and machine gun. k1llsen jumping into his arms. He's giving him the opportunity. Can he land the shotgun blast? He can't. k1llsen's stack is gigantic. 10 seconds left. Spart1e has no health. How did this happen, Lethal?
It can't end like this. Spart1e's going to try and go in, but it's not going to happen, especially with the super shotgun. GG's for both these players. What a great way to end this series, and I just can't believe k1llsen jinxed him. Nice one.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You ever like wish for something and then you regret it the minute you get it? Like, I just feel awful. That is just a... That is a hurtful way to lose. That is a painful way to lose. As k1llsen will take that set, but Spart1e putting up an amazing fight.
Yeah, Spart1e won't be too happy with you, k1llsen. It's fine. It's not an issue. I think he's going to forgive you.
Whenever a LAN happens again, I'll buy him like a ticket to a buffet. But yeah, that's rough. That is rough. The predictions absolutely ruined.
It's just such a shame as well. He had the overstack and everything he needed, and then k1llsen with the dual-wield shotgun, and then afterwards
you can hear him giggle.
Out.
Am I the only one that when I see k1llsen laugh, I hear the giggle? I love it.
Oh, I just couldn't believe it. What a way. Do you know what? I think after the moment where he didn't get ring out over the super shotgun area, I was like, okay, it's fine. It's not going to issue. But yeah, he's realised it as well. He knew that cost him the game. He doesn't have the weapons anymore to try and fight back. He doesn't have to stack either. A real shame for Spart1e. He's going to be kicking himself a little bit. But there we have it. It's just one of those things. An extra 236 damage more in favour of k1llsen. Towards the end, lucky at that dual-wield shotgun to clean him up and tie things up, and then the ring out from Spart1e. Such a shame. We could be in sudden death right now, Spart1e, if it wasn't for that last ring out. But end of the day, you know, that was a great series to finish things off.
Yeah, I mean, that's a hell of a way to end it. I feel so bad, but k1llsen pulls it out, takes the series victory. Congrats to him, but a hell of a day of Quake, especially on the day of love. So I had a great time. Lethal, I don't know if you did. I don't know if you have any closing comments for everybody, but the floor is yours, sir.
In terms of comments, I think we've been very lucky, actually. You know, a lot of these series, especially with the matchups, you'd expect some of them are more one-sided, but we saw a lot of 2-1s, a lot of games, a lot of series went to that map number 3, couldn't really call it. But that final series to end it was just, you know, the icing on the cake, really, this Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I mean, I think the real victor today was Sync-Error. So congrats to him. Fantastic.
Yeah, I'll give him a cut.
But yeah, no, it was a great day of Quake. And I'm just, you know, as always, thankful to production. Thanks to Bethesda, PGL for putting all this on. Chat, thank you for memeing all day and, you know, for your predictions and staying locked. Sundays are for Quake next week. Week 7, still a lot of Quake action ramping up to the stage finals. It's going to be fantastic. A lot of players slowly but surely icing themselves onto the chopping block. They control their destiny, Lethal. So week in, week out, all the maps matter. And look forward to seeing how it all plays out. But that's it for us today. Hope to see you all next week. Thank you again to all of you. And I hope everybody has a wonderful Valentine's Day. Lethal, thank you for joining me and being my Valentine on this Sunday. I appreciate it.
Oh, you know me, mate. Always a pleasure, never a chore. You are my perfect match, of course, so don't blush. Don't blush, it's fine.
Cup of tea on me whenever we get to meet again.
Nice
Very
one.
looking forward to it.
I'll remember that.
We're out of here, chat. So take care, have a great Sunday, and hug everyone. Why not? It's a day of love. Spread some hugs. We'll see you next week.